Aditi's
right,
in the
OBJ?
building. Aditi, come on in.
Aditi's behind enemy lines today.
I know, Aditi, let's tell everybody where you are today. I like that she has an orange coat on. I love it.
Well, I am looking like a drowned rat, and I apologize for that, but that's because it's pouring here in the city of Pittsburgh, where it is generally always pouring. I'm here at the indoor facility that both the Steelers and the Pitt Panthers share, but I couldn't miss a Tuesday with you guys. So instead of being out on the practice field, I'm here to hang with you.
Should we read anything into the orange coat?
Yeah.
I look good in orange.
Yeah, there you go.
Does that work?
Yeah. You look great in orange, Aditi.
Hey, thank you. Adam, do not bring your Josh Dobbs hate when I am in the vicinity.
I know he's
because
a good guy.
I love Josh Dobbs. No, he's a great guy.
Well,
he's a great guy.
No, I got nothing bad to say about Josh Dobbs. I'm just saying he has no experience. Fine. I'm just saying if I could get, if I could take Darnold's contract to get rid of Baker and get a draft pick, I would do it. If you want to keep Dobbs as your third quarterback, fine, cut Darnold. He sucks anyway. And everybody loves Dobbs, so fine. I'm sorry. I didn't.
But who's paying the money? This is the whole reason that the Panthers had the issue with getting Baker Mayfield in the first place, is that they didn't want to pay the $18 million to Baker Mayfield when they were already on the hook for the guaranteed money to Sam Darnold.
Right, but they wouldn't be on the hook. I'm just saying they're in the same. Both teams would be in the same spot financially because it's this exact same contract. So Carolina's not taking on additional money. They're just getting Baker instead of Darnold.
So
and
you're
then giving
saying
up
a one-for-one swap.
With the Browns getting a draft pick, like a mid-pick.
But you know what? Sam Darnold is not playing for the Browns anyway, and I would argue that I'd rather have Josh Dobbs in the room as a veteran voice, as a guy who sees the field as a potential change of the pace, than having Sam Darnold in the room.
You know him well. That's fine. I'd still, if I could get a draft pick as part, I don't care about Darnold. I do it so in my mind.
You're dreaming. You're dreaming if you think the Panthers are giving Darnold and a draft pick to the Browns for Baker Mayfield.
And Aditi,
but Baker's better. Baker's clearly better than Darnold, no?
Oh, sure. 100%.
So then when they give up a fourth or fifth round pick?
Aditi, what Bull is proposing is buying a third-round pick from Carolina for $18 million. That's what he's proposing.
Well, I mean, the Browns did go down this route with Brock Osweiler, right?
Yeah.
How much of that salary did they end up paying just to kind of...
They're not really paying $18 million because they're just exchanging contracts. They're not saving any money. But the Panthers would have to give up, I'll say, a fourth or fifth round pick and get an upgraded quarterback because Baker is an upgrade from Darnold. So I don't think that's crazy for Carolina. They do seem interested in theory.
I don't either. Look, Carolina was the one that was really interested beforehand, and then the Browns apparently couldn't pick up enough of the salary to satisfy David Tepper, the owner of the Carolina Panthers. And then all of a sudden, Matt Corral falls to them during the draft, and they're all excited about what he can do for them.
Aditi?
So I don't think it's dead. It's just not nearly as likely.
Okay, forget that trade. They're killing the lights on Aditi.
What is going on?
You know what?
Pittsburgh sucks. Pittsburgh sucks.
Pittsburgh sucks.
Come on. Pittsburgh sucks.
They saw she was wearing an orange coat.
Do you think if I take off the orange?
That's it. Lights come back on. The lights immediately come back on.
Will they turn it back off? We're waiting.
Aditi, so let me ask you this.
I'm doing my best, guys.
Yeah.
I feel like we are on a collision course for a Week 1 Baker Mayfield versus the Browns matchup. What is the likelihood
that happens? It's going to make Jay's year if that happens. It's going to make your year.
It would make my year if that happens. But
he's so affirmative.
Well, remember, before the schedule came out, I said that my dream matchup was that the Browns got Carolina in Week 1.
That's true.
And my nightmare matchup was that the Browns got Carolina in Week 1.
Yes.
What are the chances, Aditi, and I'm not saying that this trade comes to fruition because I don't think that's going to happen. But what are the chances that Carolina finally just says, whatever we need to do, the rookie's not ready, Darnold's not the guy, go get Baker at whatever what are the chances we see Baker versus Browns in Week 1?
I wouldn't say it's out of the realm of possibility. I wouldn't say that it's 75% likely, but would that not make for amazing television there?
And the NFL's all about storylines. That would be a matchup.
Yes, but that doesn't mean that David Tepper and the Panthers are making that move just to satisfy the National Football League. But, let me just say this. I really would like to see Baker go someplace and succeed someplace.
I do too.
Because, again, and we've said this many, many times, he's not been a bad teammate. He is not a bad guy. He is somebody that truly has lived through is it 4 head coaches, 4 offensive coordinators, 4 offenses, has certainly given everything that he possibly could to this club. And I think he deserves a fresh start. And it would be nice to go see him have that fresh start. It's too bad that the way the world works right now, there aren't necessarily as many open spots as you would like.
I'm not going to lie, Aditi. I'm not a phony. People get mad at me because it sounds mean, and it is, to be honest. I am not rooting for Baker to do well. I'm going to be totally honest.
Okay.
Petty LaBelle. Petty
Neither
LaBelle.
is G. You're
Can
not
we
rooting
get
for
a
him to do
Kyler
well.
under-
You know it.
Can we get a tag under Bull's name that says
Hater.
Petty LaBelle?
Hater.
Petty
I don't want him to do well because I want to be right. I get plenty of things wrong. I want to be right about this.
Seasoning.
Salt. Yeah, all those flavors out there, Bull, and you have to choose salt.
Now, Didi, you've been waiting for the real question.
Yeah.
I got to come with the real
Please.
question.
This
Now,
is
here you go.
Oh, is this from Jay? Great.
Yeah, this
All
is
right,
you're like,
let's
look,
see.
there it is, right? Petty
Is this
LaBelle's
why I'm in the dark, basically?
Petty LaBelle.
Now, if you had to put money on it, you got to pick one of these. You got to pick one. Who plays in a
Okay.
Browns uniform first? Baker Mayfield or Odell Beckham Jr.?
Oh.
Neither.
You gotta
I
pick
mean,
one.
I
You gotta
really
pick
don't
one.
see Odell coming back.
You
So
got-
then it's more likely that it's, well, who plays, like, who shows up on the practice field?
Nah,
Which
no.
one's more likely
Like,
to
does
play
Baker
a
show
snap
up
for the
next
Browns
week
in the
and
future?
wear
No, in the game.
Odell?
Ah!
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's true also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that she's
Yeah.
got it absolutely
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all I wanted.
Adam, Petty
This is
LaBelle.
one of those, like,
That's
impossible
his new
games,
nickname,
right?
Petty LaBelle.
That's a great name, and that's better than Mikey McNuggets, by the
Yeah.
way. I do
Petty-
like
I
that
love
one
it.
better than Mikey
Petty
McNuggets.
LaBelle is so fire.
That is
Yeah.
on fire.
Change your Twitter handle. This needs to be
He
Yeah.
actually has to apply for a new Twitter handle today.
I'm not doing it.
It
Please
better
make
be
it Petty LaBelle.
No, I'm not doing it. But I decided not to change my Twitter handle because some
not doing
idiot took Adam the Bull years and years ago, even before I was on Twitter.
Well, contact him.
Really?
Now I'm stuck with Adam
guys-
the Bull fan. I wanted to get rid of the fan, but I was like, well, what am I
You
going to
guys
do?
were blowing this. We have a great opportunity there.
Yeah.
Aditi, you were there in enemy territory. Tell us, give us some insight. Tell us what you're seeing. Can you steal a playbook?
can't see anything. It's
have
dark.
you seen anything? Have you seen anything that could help us that we could pass along?
Yeah, really.
Use this.
Well, I think the pick guys are. Well, we talked. You know what? Mitch Trubisky has fit in incredibly well. He is one of your Ohio natives.
Yeah.
His son is four weeks old. He's really excited about that. And literally, I just talked to, 6 guys in the locker room who talked about how great Mitch is, how much they're enjoying working with him. And even Kenny Pickett was telling me how Mitch has been fantastic and so helpful, and that he and Mitch really like a lot of similar things. So I would expect to see a very, very, very different Steelers offense than the one you've seen the last couple years. There's that.
Well, that
Cam
means it could
Hayward
suck.
looks good. Tyson Alualu looks good. Well, no, but the offense did suck, don't you think?
Aditi,
Wasn't
I got
this
that.
like the most
I got-
anemic offense ever?
It was
I got
horrible.
Deontay Johnson on my fantasy team. He's really the only guy I care about on the Steelers. Is he in good
Okay,
shape?
well, I just talked to him. Yes, he's in great shape. He's been working out in Tampa.
Yeah.
Debo Samuel is down there. Now, remember, Deontay's up for a contract. He would love to get a new contract this year. There's nothing to really report on that front. But Deontay just said to me, if he needs to play for a contract, then he comes in with the right attitude and the right mindset, and that's what he does.
I love
Well,
that.
David
And
Njoku
make them
just
pay.
got-
It's the conversation that we had with Joe Flacco, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bet
David-
on yourself.
Didi, David Njoku.
Bet on yourself. Exactly, Jay.
David Njoku drops every
Yes.
third pass, and he just got paid. So does Deontay Johnson. So it's a perfect combination.
No,
Aditi,
no. That's
He got
also
better
not
last
fair.
year.
You're
He got
just
better. He
hating
got
on
much better
everybody
last
I
year.
like. He got much better last year. Go
Yeah, he
look
did.
at the percentage of drops a year ago. And Deontay Johnson was one of the top receivers
He did
in the
improve.
NFL.
He did
worked
improve.
unbelievably hard at that.
That's fair.
in
He
all
really
these,
did.
Aditi, in all these preseason, rankings and whatnot that we're doing in the AFC North, everyone's essentially dismissing the Steelers because of the quarterback situation and whatnot. Are we foolish to be doing that? Everybody's just assuming.
I am.
Everybody's just assuming that.
I do think it's foolish because you forget about Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin teams always compete. Mike Tomlin teams, even when Duck Hodges is a starting quarterback, compete and are alive. And I do think this is going
Charlie
to be
Batch.
a very, very good defense. Very good defense here.
Yeah, she's right. You
And
can't
I
sleep on
just
this
saw Tyson
organization.
Alualu. So much of why the Steelers couldn't stop the run a year ago was because they were missing Tyson Alualu. I just saw him in the locker room. He looks great. He's healthy. Cam Hayward looks bigger than ever, which is sort of absurd to say. And Cam just put that out there. that he thinks that when people talk about Aaron Donald, they should be talking about him too. So if he's setting himself up like that, then he's going to meet that challenge. And I do think that Cam Hayward is one of the most underrated defensive players in the NFL.
Yeah, but
I do.
But nobody's Aaron Donald.
No, he's not in Aaron Donald's neighborhood.
He's really good,
and I agree. I don't think anybody. Yeah, and I mean, too.
But
I
he
would
has
say the
high
same thing if you asked me
aspirations.
about T.J. Watt and Aaron Donald. Yes, but it's important. If you're setting yourself up for that, if you're setting that standard, then you're working to meet that standard. You don't want egg on your face. And so he may not meet it, but still, at least you're setting yourself up and saying that's something that I'm aiming for.
Yeah.
According
You know, it's
to
kind of
most,
like, you don't aim for Pitt, you aim for Cornell, like I tell my 6-year-old all the time.
Yes.
Wow.
Big Red, baby.
Taking a
My
shot
mother's
at
not
the
watching.
school you're in the building of.
now, Aditi, how is it watching the quote unquote, according to some, the best running back
That's
in the
absurd.
NFL?
That's absurd.
Or
AFC
at
North.
least in the AFC North.
There was an article
Najee
with-
I haven't
Harris.
you know what? Practice starts in like 15 minutes. I'll let you know when I see. But again, I told you I'd take Nick Chubb. I take Nick Chubb every single day. And if I could take him in all 4 spots, I would take Nick Chubb in all 4 spots.
Hey, Aditi.
And I like the other backs. I will tell you that.
sure.
Just really quickly, I'm a big J.K. Dobbins fan. I am a big Joe Mixon fan. I obviously am a Najee Harris fan. But I would still take Nick Chubb in all 4 spots.
I think if the AFC West is the division of the quarterback, and right now it kind of seems like that's where we are, I think the AFC North is clearly the division of the running back. And I don't think there's a
Agreed.
huge separation between these guys. I think they're all exceptional running
Yeah.
backs.
Yes.
And so you're splitting hairs when you go 1 to 4, 2 to 3, whatever.
1 to 6,
I
maybe.
want to ask you this, Aditi.
But
we
wait,
started,
you know what, Jay?
Yeah.
Wait, Jay, can I just interrupt for 1 second
course.
here? So, and I'm sorry, I'm moving and it's dark, and I
That's
think
okay.
it's probably the worst shot ever. But hey,
You
at
honestly
least I'm
look
not
like my
driving in
mom
a car,
trying to do
right?
like a Zoom call right now. You look like my mom trying to do a Zoom call.
We love your mom. Don't make fun of
Peggy.
your mom. We love your mom too.
Can you see me? Can you hear my voice?
Yeah.
At
Sorry,
least
go
I'm
ahead.
not driving down the freeway, right? Okay. No, the one thing that I would say for Najee Harris is that Najee Harris is indeed a 3-down back. And one thing, I was actually just talking about this with Deontay Johnson. One thing about Joe Mixon that really bothered me is that in that Super Bowl, he wasn't in on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1 4 times. The first drive of that Super Bowl, first Bengals offensive
Don't get
drive,
me started
3rd
on
and
that.
1, Mixon wasn't in, 4th and 1, he wasn't in.
Yeah.
Last drive of the game, 3rd and 1 wasn't in, 4th and 1 wasn't
Absurd.
in. That's because he's not the same blocker that their 3rd down back is. And he absolutely could be, but he's not. And we know that Nick Chubb has come out in sort of 2-minute situations, whatever. He's been subbed out at times for Kareem Hunt for the way that they divide the offense. Najee Harris is indeed an every single down, every single situation.
good point.
And that does earn him points.
Yeah, but
You know,
I
like it's
think
like how
that's-
Le'Veon Bell was in this town. It didn't matter. It didn't matter if it was a passing situation, didn't matter if it was a running situation, didn't matter if it was 1st down or 3rd down. Le'Veon Bell was in there. You could count on him.
And that's worth
And that's
something,
what they're
Bull.
saying for Najee
Yeah.
Harris. That is worth something.
But is it that the Steelers just don't have another option? I mean, I think it's bad coaching by the Bengals that Mixon wasn't in there, not because he can't block.
Well, but Aditi's saying he's limited.
You don't think he's a good enough blocker, or do you think it was bad coaching?
I'm not saying he's limited. I'm saying he hasn't been used. I think it's bad coaching.
well,
in the
yeah, it's
sense
bad
that
coaching.
Tell
Well,
the
we-
kid to block. Tell him to block. Tell
Yeah.
him. Chip
No,
Bud
I know,
Dupree,
but
block Aaron Donald.
Aditi-
That's part of your job.
They see what he's capable of doing every single day. If he wasn't in there, it's the
Oh,
fact
yeah,
that they
agreed.
don't believe he can do it. If they thought he could, he would have
Well,
been on
they
the
just
field.
weren't smart enough. They just weren't smart enough to make the
Ooh,
change in
wow,
the situation
shots
when they
fired.
should have made the change.
Okay, shots fired.
Right? Or they just weren't heady enough, or they didn't. You know, you can have a 3rd down back, but in a situation like that, sometimes you say, you know what, we're overruling what our general rules are, and we're going to put this guy in. And
Sure.
from what I was told, Bull, just so you know, because of the Super Bowl, the
Yeah.
running backs coach did indeed at the end of the game say to Zach Taylor, should we put Mixon in instead of Pirine? And Taylor was like, no, you know, whatever, just stick with it, just stick with it. Maybe
No.
because of the time,
He choked.
maybe
The
because of
coach
how
choked.
quickly, yeah.
The coach choked.
Well,
that was
that's
it.
for you to say.
Pirine stinks. He shouldn't have been in there.
I think we got something. Somebody is pulling up on it. They said Aditi is completely wrong.
Oh.
He's waiting in the wings. Let's get to him. Where you at? So, talk to somebody.
you skipping the contract then?
No, let's say we're gonna hold on. Leroy's ready. We're gonna get Leroy in 1 sec, but before we do that, Jay has to ask a very important question.
Okay,
to
yeah.
Aditi.
That wires
Oh,
cross
yeah,
on
Yeah,
track.
wires
Sorry,
crossed, but
sorry.
Leroy, we're coming to you next. Don't worry.
Yeah, Leroy, hold your change here. We're coming to you. Aditi,
I'm
we
not sure I'm ready to be yelled at by Leroy. But okay, go ahead, Jay. I cut you off.
No,
Sorry.
nobody is, but it's coming inevitably. So, Aditi, we started the program with news that Mike Florio had floated the idea out there that should the Browns want out of the contract, and there's no speculation that they do. He wasn't making that speculation. He was just saying that if they get to the point where they're looking for a parachute to void the contract, that exists. Do you know anything about this? Have you talked to anybody about this? Is that true in your opinion?
I think that this is sort of speculation that at this moment is just kind of wasting our breath and our energy because I just don't see it happening.
No, not that because we don't either.
My understanding is that Florio, but my understanding is that he does raise a good point, and that in theory, one could potentially argue that, but I'm sure there would be a very strong argument the other way as well.
Okay, so
and you're going
whether or not
down
there's grounds for it. Yeah, and you know what? Listen, a lot of times with these contracts, it's very wishy-washy. You could put them in front of different judges, and some might say, no, this is binding, and others might say, no, I see the option here. I see the loophole.
Right.
So it's almost impossible at this point. I just wondered what your thoughts were on that. Okay, now on.
And my understanding, one more other little addendum to that, Jay, just before Leroy yells at me. My understanding is that the presence of number 23 and number 24 was not a surprise to many, many people in the National Football League, including the Browns. I was talking to a front office executive at another team that had indeed done a massive investigation into Deshaun Watson and was in the Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. And what he said to me, what this front office executive said to me, is that the presence of 23 and 24 wasn't surprising. Maybe the specificity of the details from number 24 was indeed a little bit surprising. So maybe, the Browns could sit here and say, well, we didn't actually know this, but Deshaun Watson's camp could say, well, you did actually know the presence of this, so that is that slippery slope that you're talking about.
I thought it was interesting that Rusty Harden's immediate response was, I can't comment on the 24th accuser because we're just hearing her name for the first time. We don't know anything about her. I don't know if that's probably nuanced, but it was interesting to me that this was an out-of-the-blue name. Number 24, okay, maybe they expected, but this particular name is a new one to us. We didn't know about her, so that was a bit of a pop quiz. Mikey McNuggets wants to take us to where we're going next. So go ahead, Mikey.
Yeah, Dini's got to leave in a couple minutes.
Do I need protection? Yeah.
Look at this. Let's pull the 4-box up.
This is
UCSS history.
We've never done this.
Oh, boy.
There is smoke coming out of our control room right now.
This is really unnecessary.
No.
Leroy Hoard.
Leroy, what's up, my man? How you doing?
Leroy.
What's happening?
I'm ready for it. Look at him
there's
smiling.
nothing to
Is he
yell
trying
about.
to butter me up? Oh, okay.
Yes, I would butter you up if I could see you.
So I'm trying to move a little bit. All right.
You
Is
need
that
to
any
just
better?
carry around your
Is that-
own personal ring light and just hold it up.
Oh, there
I'm
we
a
go.
ground rat.
That's
I've been
better.
standing in the rain. Is that
No,
any better?
that's much better.
Yeah.
They turned the lights
I
back on.
would say this about the
They
run.
did. They
I would
turned the
say
lights
this.
back on.
I would say this about the running back thing, and I agree with everybody's opinion. Like, I can't, disagree with it. But I would say this: it's hard to compare players in different offenses that have different options with different weapons.
Right.
And so when you have a situation like, say, Nick Chubb, that change of pace might be Kareem Hunt and what he brings to the table, and you trying to find a spot for him because he's very talented. Whereas you look at Pittsburgh, their options are not as they don't have as many options as Cleveland does.
Right.
And you can do that with a lot of running backs in that sometimes when that's your only option, they have to play 3 downs. And we sometimes think that means that one running back is better, but in actuality, his situation is different. I promise you, if I took Nick Chubb and put him in Pittsburgh's offense the last 2 years, he'd have more production than Najee Harris.
Whoa.
Without a doubt.
And Leroy, part of that too is that's what Mike Tomlin likes. It's not just the offense; it's what the coach wants. Mike Tomlin likes an every down back.
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's been a conversation. Do you want to mix it up? Or how come all these teams are playing with thunder and lightning? Why won't you do that? Tomlin likes one guy. And
You know why?
Stefanski likes being able to mix it up, and he has the talent to mix it up. Go ahead.
Because they don't have Kareem Hunt. That's why.
That's true.
I mean, nobody
All right.
complained about Robert Smith not playing every down. Nobody complained about Eric Metcalf not playing every down. Because when you have weapons where you can do a lot of different things, it doesn't necessarily mean that the players are limited. It just means that the offense is not limited.
And
So-
the game is so specialized now, too.
All right,
It
guys,
is
I
to a
played
certain
ton
extent.
of tennis, and wait.
Yeah.
I played a lot of tennis and golf this weekend. My arms are like jelly right
All
now.
right,
so
well, let
I
her go.
can't
You
keep
gotta
holding
let her
this
go.
on.
Yeah, and we know we had to let you go at noon. We kept you over, and we
Sorry.
apologize.
We'll see you
Sorry.
Thursday,
No,
Aditi.
bye, guys.
Bye, Aditi.
Leroy. Talk to
Steal
you
a playbook.
soon.
Bye.